elementary team, all gang members now. I don't want to do that.
St. Benedict's mission is to take young men from diverse backgrounds and provide access to opportunity historically denied to us.
People ask me all the time about St. Benedict's, and I say, you know what? We're an advanced placement course in basketball.
For me, it's bigger than just basketball. I want to change, like, the way my family lives.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Father. Good morning from Las Vegas. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great. This is a total thrill to speak to you this morning.
You must have pretty bland days if I'm a thrill.
Well, no, being from Las Vegas is anything but bland, and especially in these times, but I just admire you so much. So that's why I'm really thrilled to be here. I vividly recall seeing you on 60 Minutes in 2016 and hearing your story. And so it was just natural that we had a documentary that come out about your boys and about your school. And I think what I took away most from Benedict Men was your motto for your school: what hurts my brother hurts me. And I think I'm going to keep that. If I never went there, but I hope you allow me to keep that mantra in my daily life too.
You can have that mantra. Absolutely.
So I love what you said. The school is built on their voice, and you also teach community. How do you balance that with basketball?
Well, actually, a good basketball team is just a tiny community, right? You got to be able to give up. And I think that's actually what Jonathan Hawk was able to capture in the documentary, that you have to give up what you want for what we need to create any kind of a team. And a community is just simply a team, people giving up, sacrificing for the sake of the other. So it works in basketball, it works in a religious community, it works in a town. It's also actually one of the problems that we have in the country right now, right? This whole sense of community that's been fractured. It's tough to get it back too.
And working with Coach Taylor, it must be a two-way street of trust. Tell me about working with him, because the balance of education and sports has to be a real fine line. Yeah,
well, great teachers, whether they're teachers in a physics classroom or in a chemistry classroom or on a basketball court or a soccer field or in a fencing strip, great teachers have an ability to bring people together for a common goal. And Mark has a terrific ability to do that. And he's got little techniques. For example, if you've not talked to him, after every game, he has a basketball in his hand, and anybody can ask for the ball. And for the ball, you get the ball for the purpose of shout outs and call outs. So you can give a shout out to one of the guys on the team who did something outstanding for the sake of the team to achieve the goal, or you can call a person out for not having done what we need to get done. And it's amazing to watch a bunch of teenagers do that. And it doesn't matter whether they've played in the game, didn't play in the game, or whether they never play in the game. Anyone can ask for the ball at any time, and to talk about either what went on in practice, what went on that led to the success or to the failure at a game. So it's a great technique of building community and honesty, right? Openness with one another.
And when did they approach you about filming this documentary? Did you have any concerns? Because you're opening up your life, the life of your students, and pretty much was there a carte blanche experience, or how much control or say-so did you have?
Oh, we had the ultimate control in the sense that we could have said yes or no to their coming in. It was much easier to say yes, having had the 2016 experience of 60 Minutes. That was a much more difficult decision in the sense, because you had no idea what they were going to do coming in and how they would tell the story. But the kids here are accustomed to people coming in and talking about what's going on here. So this one was not all that difficult, having had the 60 Minutes experience. And it came about because as a result of 60 Minutes, two guys who have become friends, they saw the 60 Minutes piece, and they're the principals in Management 360 in Los Angeles. And it's a production company and we got to be friends with them. And every time we went to California to see our alumni, because we have to go around the country to raise money for this doesn't work without raising money. And we would stop in to see Darren and Eric. And at one of those meetings, they put us together with Mark Ciardi, who executive produces a lot of films, I guess, and documentaries. We met him. He happened to know Mark Taylor, and it kind of took off from there. And then the next thing I knew, Jeffrey Katzenberg was about to launch Quibi. They were looking for content, and Steph Curry somehow got involved. I don't know how any of that happened. And
your own dream team,
yeah, exactly.
Was assembling.
And it was just off and running. And then they asked if they could come in, and we said, yeah, sure. We talked about it and said, absolutely.
And with the exposure on 60 Minutes and now with this series on Quibi, has St. Benedict's, has that been considered as a model for duplication around with other schools around the country?
Yeah, it's a great question, Jeff. And a lot of people ask that about duplication. In order to duplicate what we do, well, let me back up. As a result of 60 Minutes, we created an institute called the Vox Institute. Vox in Latin is voice, right? Because we were getting inquiries from all over the country, and we just couldn't keep up with them without having to pull somebody out of a class to answer this phone or call somebody back. So we created this institute that now runs, and we can relate to people around the country who are looking for help. But in order to duplicate exactly what we're doing, it's like a diner, which is very difficult to duplicate. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because there's a whole bunch of us that live here. So it never really closes, and that's difficult to duplicate in itself. So kids know if they're in trouble in one kind or another, if they can get here, they can get help, and that frequently happens. So, but there are parts of this that have been duplicated in other places in the country. We've worked with places in Milwaukee and Tulsa, Oklahoma, all over the place to use parts of it.
And finally today, you were quoted, you were struggling for the soul of America with your students. How goes the struggle, Father?
Well, actually the struggle's gotten, you can argue the struggle's gotten worse here recently, right? With events of Black Lives Matter following George Floyd and the continuation of deaths all over the place. The pandemic has complicated it because it heightens people's anxieties and depressions, right? The depression pushes you into the past. Anxiety forces you into the future. And
well, St. Benedict's is a haven, I would think, a little corner of your world where
just a sign,
yeah,
Jeff, just trying to be a sign of hope and of faith to people. So when they see the fence around the property or see us on the screen, like talking to you, they realize that it's possible to do this. It's possible. If you give kids a voice and you stay out of their way and don't do for kids what kids can do for themselves, surprising things happen.
Amazing work you're doing, Father. I have such admiration for you. Congratulations on all of your works and also for this documentary. It's fantastic. And hopefully we'll talk again soon.
I'd love it. Thanks for your interest, and tell everybody in Las Vegas we said hello.
Absolutely. Take care.
Thanks, Jeff.